What is up, YouTube? I return with a very low effort video, several years behind the curve, tier lists. Um, me and Brutal, long time ago, ancient history now, but we made like a very short top three, I think it was, favorite shows of all time, animes of all time. And I wanted to kind of give more context, give more reasoning behind my top three, and not only that, I have like 168 anime that I just kind of selected from my list. I'm probably going to separate this into like 15, 20-minute segments.
Yeah. Like that's ever gonna happen.
Probably try to wind it down after 15 minutes. So I'll be looking at the clock, but no guarantees on that. Because last time when I tried to do this, it took me about it took me like 15 minutes for one anime basically. So I don't know how to be more concise with this many shows. So this may be a long running thing that I just continue to piece together. I mean, I think most people who do these videos do this all at once. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Also, my mic kind of sucks. Makes me sound like I'm sick. I'm not sick. I'm okay. Thanks for worrying about me. Nobody worried about me. Anyway, yeah, last time I got a little bit of incoherent, rambled a bit, but as you can see, I have a lot of shows here. These are not all the shows I've watched either, by the way. This is just like a assortment of some really highs, some kind of mids, some lows, and just like everything that I was like, oh, this would be good to talk about. Like, I have some things to say about each of these shows, which is for better or for worse if you like talking. But I don't really want to say, and again, this may carry on for a while. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to take because this is a lot of shows, and I don't really want to miss anything. It's kind of like this is kind of like a bit of an archival work. You kind of want to put this aside for a long time and always be able to go back and reference it. I know as I rewatch shows and as I get older, of course, some things will change, but I think generally I will have, I don't think they're going to be moving in massive amounts over about the course of my life. Um, I'm too old now to change too much about me. Also, my cat is here. You may hear him. I apologize. But if you like cats, I don't apologize. Okay, I'm gonna pick a random one and just kind of like close my eyes and grab one. All right, I hope I'm in the middle of the screen here. What is this? Oh, Campione. Not a bad one to start with. Campione. I don't think I got around to this one in my last video. Also, my last video, part of the reason why I'm redoing it is because, well, my hard drive, how do you say it, started clicking. Not a good sign. Didn't want to read, and the videos, all my old videos, lots of me and Brutal stuff that I still have not edited were on that hard drive. So I need to pay some real money to recover it because I just don't want a chance opening it up myself. Long story short. So um, redoing this one, and hopefully I'll be able to get most of, if not all, the stuff that I lost so far. Still have the drive, so we'll see. Anyway, I think it's an issue that they say is pretty easy to fix and usually results in like 90% recovery of the data. But that is not the topic. Just letting you know. Life update. Just slide it in there. Campione. Campione is a really good series. It's not A or S tier. It's not A or S tier, but it's kind of like a classic. It's got really nice animation. It's got really nice coloring. It's got really nice characters. It's got like a fun, unique theme with the Greek sort of gods and goddesses, and this guy being the Campione, and it's pretty cool. I'm staying brief. I'm not like getting into every little plot point. I probably will about a few of them, but not this one so much. This one's just like in a very easy watcher with a little bit of action, a little bit of etchy. Man, no, it really didn't have that much etchy. Maybe just that. Very, very light on it if I remember properly. But fun characters, likable characters, like it's just one of those shows that you don't have to be like, oh, I need to prepare myself for this. You can just chill, you can just watch it. Like it demands your attention a little bit, has an interesting plot to it, has good action. You definitely want to experience it and not look away. It's not background by any means. That's why it's probably like a B or a C tier. I especially like it, so I think I'm gonna put it in B tier for me, but I would not have any qualms about someone saying it's more like a C tier because it's not like there's a ton going on, but I think the concept being as unique as it is, the animation being as good as it is, the styling being on point, the characters being on point, all of them being likable, and the whole overall feeling of the show just being very approachable and watchable. It's really fun. It's like I get excited about it because it's just like one of those shows that isn't talked about a heck of a lot anymore. Campione, go watch it. Like it's just something you can sit down and I wouldn't say binge it, but you can watch it rather quickly and not miss a whole lot. It's not like super deep, but still very entertaining. Um, Closing my eyes again. I'm already running out of breath. All right. Oh, Goblin Slayer. Wow, Goblin, another fantastic. Uh, Goblin Slayer. Um, it's has a lot of sentimentality to me for very personal reasons. My good friends who passed away earlier this year. The first anime I ever showed him, first anime I ever watched. I knew he liked fantasy stuff, MMORPG stuff. So I showed him this one. He absolutely loved it. He got into anime big time after that. And so it's kind of like very near and dear to my heart. So I'm gonna have to put it in A tier, even though maybe technically it doesn't deserve A tier. It might deserve B tier. Um, but I don't think it deserves C tier. I think it's a B or an A, really. But without that sentimentality, I probably would have put it in B. I'm just trying to be objective, but at the same time, like it's not, it's my list, okay? I'm not gonna be perfectly objective. Um, if I'm talking about the show itself, initially it uses shock factor really well. People dispute that, so it's a bit controversial in the beginning. Some people say that it totally like trivializes rape and like violation and stuff in the beginning, and it gets really dark really quickly. But I think it's great to set the world. If you want a world like that, if you want a dark, savage world, set that tone, especially because it's subverting your expectations by the main enemy. There's really no spoiler here. The goblins, the goblin slayers. The goblins are the main enemy, and so this guy's killing goblins pretty much exclusively. So it's like you think of goblins as these little harmless, mobs that you just run over practically and they're dead. But I think that was part of the shock factor in the beginning. It wasn't just to show like some enemy real getting violated or bloodied or whatever. It was that was a tool to describe the world that was being set up. It was a bit of world building, and I don't know why they some people took that negative fashion. I don't understand that. But the other technical aspects of the show, the animation leaves a bit to be desired. I have to say that the animation is solidly C tier, maybe D tier at times. Like the ending is inexcusable. It's the worst ending I've ever seen. It's so bad. It's like all PS2 level 3D. It's really bad, and from what I've seen of the second season, which I guess I'll meld the two of them because just kind of cover the whole ground. It doesn't change a whole lot. Like the animation stays kind of. There was a few moments in the movie that I was impressed by, but overall, I was like, eh. There will be at some point a release of me and Brutal watching the movie at the very least. I'm hoping if I can get my files back, but I would say like the first season and second season really I say the first season was a tad bit better than the second season, and since I'm kind of grading them all together, I don't know. I still think it's an A tier show because it's just so iconic and also close to my heart. Um, and it's one of those shows that I think is perfect for fantasy fans. If you're a big fan of fantasy stuff, D&D or whatever, I'm not really, but even though I wasn't, I still loved it. I loved all of that aspect to it. And the complementarity of the members in the party, it really does feel more like, I guess you would say, a D&D type MMORPG um, kind of thing, very RPG-y. But it's not. It's not like a. It's a very realistic world, and that's why I think it really goes into A tier. Very realistic world, and it doesn't feel like you're in a game at all. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can't say at all because there's like potions and items and crap, like scrolls and crap. But to me, it doesn't really feel like you're in a game. Definitely not compared to a lot of other MMORPG type animes. It's probably one of the most realistic ones I've seen. I would say it's very clever in its writing. It's very clever in its battles and the tactical nature, the strategies goes on in each of the fights. It's very entertaining to watch, and so I give it big props for the action there. I would also the characters in the show are just like really pretty solid. Like I love all of them. The Goblin Slayer is exactly what he should be. He's like the very quiet, never shows his face type, which is like it's cool. I don't think really we see that a whole lot in anime. Like, makes me think Master Chief, but you know. And then the rest of the party is really cool. Like Priestess, Priestess, my beloved, perfect, perfect lass, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The elf is a bit weird, but eh, it's okay. Yeah, she's okay. She's an elf. I don't really like her. She doesn't make sense. That's like one of the weird parts of the show that just is totally becomes unbelievable. Is like this elf is kind of like a lolly-ish character, but she's of course thousands of years old because she's an elf, but she still acts like a child and is like really retarded pretty often. You could just say like realistic woman writing, realistically written woman, even thousands of years didn't change it. I don't know, but I feel like I would have definitely liked to see some more wisdom and some more like realistic elf type actions. It really she just seems like a whiny kid the whole time, and I'm like, come on, like be a little bit more um, interesting. But I hope I was thinking maybe that they just already had other characters that kind of filled the niche of that type of character of being like more even keel and calm. So that's why they wrote her that way. Maybe so. The other supporting characters, the lizard dude, the other guy, awesome. Loved him. Really cool. And the world is a little bit, it's a little bit basic fantasy world. They don't really expand on it a whole lot. Like there's some interesting caveats. And learning it's fun, but like the ice cream scene later, I'm getting in too much detail. It's fun to see it, little tidbits here and there, but overall it's kind of like it's not quite a copy paste, but it's near copy paste. So I have to take some points away. So I mean, probably let's revise. If I'm being objective, it's B tier. But because of my personal sentiments and of course what it means to me, like I said in the beginning, I'll have to give it an A tier. Don't have much else to say about it. Um, I should give it a rewatch and maybe it'll change some things, but there you have it. All of Goblin Slayer 1, 2 movie. I think I covered most of it. Oh, I didn't really talk about the Noble Lancer. Me and me and Bert always joke about that one. I don't know why, because the dude who did the movie voiceover was just like Noble Lancer, and it's the way he said it was very very funny. Yeah, she's cool. I don't know. She's kind of she's has some sort of individuality within the show that I like. So nice to have a noble lancer. All right. Well, we gotta get moving. I love Goblin Sleeper. I have to keep moving. Let's go from the left side. Oh, Demon King Daimyo. Demon King Daimyo. That is one that is like probably my most forgotten anime I may have ever watched. Demon King Daimyo. I'm gonna place Demon King Daimyo solidly in D tier. Sorry for any fans of this very obscure show. It's it's just bland, man. Like the plot is insanely predictable. The characters are fun. Like I do like the characters. Some of the reasoning of the characters sometimes doesn't make sense. They're like not rational actors sometimes. So you're like, wait, so you just wrote that. You wrote that irrationality and so you could have the plot go this direction just because you wanted it to for some reason that we don't even really know and that isn't obvious. There's a lot of that. And I think the animation is okay for its time. I don't think it's incredible or anything. It's just barely acceptable. I would say it's acceptable. I'd say it's acceptable. Um, the characters are good, but I think the characters might be the best part of it. Actually, it has a fire ending song. I will say that. I love that ending song. Um, but the rest is kind of, it's just very bland and forgetful a lot of the time. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I need to rewatch it. I watched this when I was definitely a teenager. I don't know how long ago that was. It was a long time ago. Not too long after it came out. Um, just a couple years, I think. But yeah, it was kind of just bland, and I don't have a lot to say about it because honestly, I don't remember a lot about it because it was just very forgetful. It was like this one anime in the back of my mind. I was like, wait, did I watch that? Why does this seem familiar? Why does that? What did I? Oh yeah, Demon King Daimyo. Yeah, I totally forgot all about that. And some of the character interactions were pretty poor. Like the little boy won the Mao kind of like in this pseudo gay relationship there at the end. I mean, I guess it wasn't, but it was just a little bit weird. There were some aspects that were thrown in there that just weren't quite coherent to me. But it wasn't bad. Like there were some decent fights. It was like if they had just polished it up a little bit more, maybe it could have been cool. And maybe if they didn't, if they got a little bit cooler with the writing, the actual plot and where it went, might have been okay. But there are like so many Demon King themed shows that it's kind of crappy. At the end of the day, it's just like there's too many of them. Although this one was kind of, I think, towards the beginning of that curve. But all right, I made good time on that one. I recovered from that one. All right, we're going on the right side this time. Right side. High School of the Dead. And I really am closing my eyes for these. Like I'm just doing circles and closing my eyes, just so you know. High School of the Dead. Holy crap. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's A tier. High School of the Dead is so freaking great. It's just so much fun. And I mean, it's a little scary. It is a little scary. There's definitely some gore to it. Maybe the tone of it could have been a little bit more serious, but at the same time, I like the uniqueness of pairing ecchi with horror, and I don't think they did it too badly. Like they didn't like really what I hate it when shows do this is when they make someone's death or misfortune or something like that into comedy, like a sadistic kind of thing, I guess, or there's I can even handle a little bit of sadism, but it's something about when it's like death. It's sadism to the point of laughing at someone's death comedically, that's too much. I think they bridged that line really well. Like I don't think there was ever a moment where I was like, people are dying and you're showing me panty shots. No, it's like yes, yes, there were some of those moments, but it was the directing and it was the coordination of the whole scene. It didn't feel like it was just like a creative camera angle, man. Like to me, it didn't seem egregious to where they were trying to like blend sexual themes with blood and guts. Like I didn't quite like it was there, and I'm probably doing a bad explanation of it. It was there, but it wasn't so overt that it grossed me out. And I have a pretty, I'm pretty easily grossed out by that sort of thing. Like I think, what's a good example? Happy Tree Friends. Happy Tree Friends always gross me the hell out because I'm like, there's these cute little characters, and you're going to like pull out their intestines in front of me, and it's supposed to be funny. No, that's not funny. Like, and the same thing would have been true if like they wove wove sexual themes into there too somehow. I would have been like, that is double disgusting. But really, High School of the Dead did not peak that for me, and maybe it's because I watched it so long ago, like again shortly after it came out, and I was younger and I was a little bit maybe more immoral back then. But even on the rewatch, like it, and maybe that's just the nostalgia taking over, like overlooking some of those criticisms that if I had never watched it and I watched it right now, maybe I would have those criticisms of it. It's just the nostalgia that overwrites it, potentially. Tell me if I'm wrong on that. I really think most people are not nearly as sensitive to me, or to me, well, definitely that, but not nearly as sensitive as me towards that kind of content. Like they don't really care that much. Either they're just not going to watch it or they're just not going to care that it's paired up. But that's enough blabbing about that. Like the whole plot is really cool. It's like the only anime that deals with the true zombie apocalypse in a very Western sense of the term, I guess, zombie apocalypse. And it's really fun to just see that play out in anime, and it's done really well. And like you almost see like the progression of this group of people getting better at fighting, getting better at surviving, being more resourceful. Like all of that is really cool, and bringing their talents, each of their unique talents, to killing zombies and surviving, and the bonds that they ultimately have with each other pre-existing and how they grow from there. It's so cool. Like they did it so well. I thought. I don't know. Maybe other people think it's just like a cheesy zombie killing flick, but I really saw. I think there was something between the lines that was pretty cool, and that she was nice. I liked it. It was very artistic. It wasn't like too crazy. I thought it was just like creative camera angles and a nice little flash of underwear that you almost have to be looking for. It was back in those days when etchy was so subtle that you really had to be like, wait, did I just see that? I loved those days. Um, Bring those back, man. Bring those back. Um, Normalize casual etchy again. But what else can I say? I want to say more about why I gave it an A. Animation is fantastic. Music is so like the opening is. I think the singer actually died. Akaboshi Rockets, rest in peace. That was a sick band and amazing singer, and she killed that opening. The ending was really cool too. Animation on the opening was so like full of artistic imagery, like Psycho up against the fence. Like it was a combination of all of it woven so well with like the kind of sexual nice edgy bits and then the zombies and everything. It was just and then the artistic um like composition of the whole thing. I'm thinking about the opening mostly, but the whole show has a lot of this too. It's so good, man. Okay, yeah, I can't think of much else to say about High School of the Dead. Like it's just good. I think maybe you could say it's a little bit tailored to Western tastes, but I don't know if that was like their intention. It sure might not have been. I think it was maybe them going, the West and some other cultures are kind of into zombies right now, so let's see what Japan thinks about it. And Japan was just not that interested because they said they were going to get a second season. They never did. They pumped out one OVA and then they were done. The OVA was like pretty meaningless. The rest of the show is really intense and the stakes are really high. People really die, and you get into it. There are definitely some moments of like retarded horror writing where people should not be doing what they're doing, but they do it, and like certain characters like Takagi and Suzuka, the teacher, um, are like so useless and dumb that they should be dead. And the only reason they're not dead is because there's people around them who are saving them, and that's kind of annoying to see that there is some progression from mostly Takagi to support the team. And I guess you could say the teacher drives. Like it's I don't know, it's you're grasping at straws there. I would want more evolution from those two characters to become like useful parts of the team. I can't think of anything else big to say about it. I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the characters since I just talked about Takagi and all that. I kind of talked about how they have relationships that they already had with each other before the story begins, and then they grow throughout the strenuous circumstances. I really love that sort of thing. I love to see like how people act in strenuous circumstances, and they illustrate it very well, where people are acting completely selfishly and screwing other people over, leaving them for dead, like totally selfish pieces of crap, and then other people who are trying to work as a team, and then other people who are trying to exploit the whole situation to gain power over other people. It's a very like interesting dynamic, especially towards the beginning of the show. Um, like I don't know, power dynamic or psychological analysis of what would happen in this real situation, like how people might just totally break, how people might just when they're the best friends of all time, and then you suddenly get grabbed by a zombie. I'll see you later. You have fun with that one. Um, or who's actually going to fight for the friends. And it's really interesting to see how it separates the wheat from the chaff. And I think they wrote that all so well. They wrote all the characters are super likable, like all the main characters. There's definitely characters you're not supposed to like, but all the main characters are awesome. They're so freaking cool. And there really wasn't any stupid plot holes that I recall or anything dumb. It was just pretty normal progression and kind of it's kind of like a progression of how much power they actually have. Because first they have nothing, no real weapons, just like blunt objects, and then they get more weapons, and then they get a vehicle, and then it just keeps going and going and going. It's kind of cool. High School Dead is awesome. It's classic. You should watch it, and you should bother. Who made that? I need to know everything about every anime. Who made it? Was it Madhouse? I knew it. Just looked it up. It was Madhouse. See. I was like, is it Madhouse? Yeah, yeah, it's Madhouse. I do know everything about every anime. I'm just kidding. At least everything here. I should know everything about everything here, but things escape me. I I drank since I watched some of these things, so I forget. Okay, let's go from like kind of the bottom. Closing eyes, closing eyes. This might be the last one for right now. Maybe for this video. Oh, what a good one. Unequivocally, unequivocally S tier. Unequivocally S tier. Oh yeah. No Game No Life Zero is, yeah, it's probably in the top three. maybe four, 3 or 4 anime movies I've ever seen, hands down. The only one, other one that definitely beats it is Violet Evergarden, and maybe the Final Heavens Feel movie. Yeah, Final Heavens Feel movie beats it, but just by a hair. It's probably third place. No, I would say it and Kimi no Na wa are tied for third place. Anyway, that's way too much information that you didn't really need. Point is, No Game No Life Zero. Let me be clear, Zero is an absolute masterpiece. No Game No Life, the show. Can I find it in here? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, we'll just rank No Game No Life, the series for you. This is solidly, yeah. Some people are already like, there's no way this man's about to do this. This is solidly F tier. Solidly F tier. And let me explain exactly what's going on here. This first video may be a little bit long because I picked a complex one to discuss. Um, so, No Game No Life Zero is like they took the original series and they took my criticism and they did every single thing that I said they should do. Now, granted, it's a prequel, No Game No Life Zero, so it's kind of like you have to understand the world, Disboard that they're in, to kind of understand this critique. And I guess I'm spoiling. I mean, it's nothing to spoil because like if you can't figure this out from like the first battle, the first quote unquote battle game really that they play in the series, like I don't know, you're just not an active watcher. So if you think this is a spoiler, it might be a spoiler, cover your ears. I would recommend you don't. I'd recommend you don't because you're gonna want to know about this because it's trash and you can just skip the original series pretty much unless you really want to. And I would also say watching the original series, as bad as it is worth it just to watch Zero if you want to go that route. So the problem with No Game Alive, the series, the original, is that you know the outcome of every single game that they're going to play. There's like one time where they subvert your expectation and you think, oh wait, maybe they're not gonna figure, and then of course they're fine. They're the most genius, badass gamers on the entire face of the planet. So good that they get reincarnated into a game world. That's how good they are. They're the best of the best. I wonder if they're gonna win any games. You think they're gonna win? And like if you see them play the first game, you're just like, oh wow, yeah, they're just always gonna find a total dominant point to win every. It's just plot armor. Every single game is total plot armor. The characters are okay. I think it's Sora, the main character, is just really one-dimensional and flat, and you're like, he's like an edge lord, but then he's like, no, I'm a really cool guy. Like I'm an edge lord, but I'm not an edge lord. I'm a really cool. It's like a really dumb main character to have. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, man. Either have like someone who's so stuck up that they can't lose, and they have like some kind of mental issue like OCD or something that, or like over competitiveness that they just have to win. That would be an interesting main character. He doesn't have that. He's just like kind of balanced edge lord, not edge lord, super good at games, will totally dominate every game he plays, is impossible to beat. Good luck, blah 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 blah. Gonna beat people who've been playing these games for thousands of years. Like he's been playing them thousands of years. It's silly, it's nonsense, it's all contrived, it's all arbitrary. It's like, come on, please, 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 just give me anything that's like something interesting, any sort of underdog. No underdog story, nothing. It's just that nothing happens the whole freaking show except them. And again, spoiler alert, I guess, winning every single game against people they have no business winning every single game against, including the god of the universe that they are in, or at least the planet. Like, what? I don't care how good you are. Like, come on. It's like this is the One Punch Man problem before One Punch Man. It's you can't have an invincible character and expect like in One Punch Man at least it was like funny. It was like, oh, you punched him once again. Ah. But in this, it's like there's not even comedy to it. They make it very serious. Like all the directing is super dramatic and everything's like booming around with big like Inception style, and you're like, you want me to take this seriously, obviously. Like in either that or you're doing like the worst satire I've ever seen. So if you want me to take this seriously, I need something to take seriously. And if I just know that the main characters are going to beat everybody in existence all the time and then just sit there at the top of it like, yeah, humans are sick. Yeah, we beat all the other races at games, video games stuff. Yeah. And like all these races used to fight each other. That's kind of the backstory. And the whole time I was like, there's nothing at stake here. If they lose the game, oh man, we lose the game. I mean, okay, there's a few things at stake I won't go into, but pretty much there's nothing like terribly drawing. It doesn't really draw on your heartstrings at any of the points of these games. No one's life is in danger. There's no stakes, and they're acting like this is life or death with the directing. It's so bad. Anyway, um, characters though, I did like all the characters pretty much. Like isolated, all the characters are pretty good. They tried to do like that underplot with the elf, the blonde elf, and the assistant to the elf, and I thought that was a little bit underwhelming subplot wise. I was like, why did you what? Why was this included? Anyway, but what went through the writer's mind? He's like, oh, we need to spice it up and have a subplot that nobody knows what's going on except the viewers. All right, I guess, but you have to make it good. Like you have to actually write. You can't just. It was not well fleshed out. Let's just put it that. But yes, the main characters are awesome. Shiro, my beloved. Oh my god, and Steph. Steph, very nice gal. Like her a lot. Um, and everything's pretty good. I think Tet is kind of gay. You know, I don't like that type of character, let's say. It's a little weird. I don't really like the little fox thing that much, but okay, I guess. You gotta have it, I guess. All I really need is Shiro, but I guess you gotta have it. So the whole thing was just like a jumble of predictable thing after predictable thing, kind of bad writing and just overall weird direction. And then like at the end of the show, you're just like, okay, well, I could have watched one episode and predicted that ending. Like, could you have given me anything interesting? Um, because the character interactions were not enough to carry the show. Like, you needed a plot, you needed something, you needed actual conflict, and that never happened. So F tier, hated it. However, everything about the original series that I just said, the movie fixes. The movie blows it out of the water. No Game, No Life, Zero totally redeems everything. Because again, the series, well, not again, I didn't mention this, but uh, no romance, nothing, sterile, pretty much. Yeah, totally sterile. That was boring. There was just nothing. It's so one dimensional. There's no layers. There's nothing going on. It's F tier. It's terrible. Um, the Zero version, the prequel, has everything. It has a freaking heart wrenching deep romance that builds perfectly and is perfect between these two characters. It's just flawless. It's so good. It's so good. The romance alone is worth watching for. It's so tender. It's just like two people in this war-torn world clinging to each other in the most beautiful way, living for one another in the most beautiful way, protecting one another, doing everything for each other, all while trying to achieve a goal and survive and continue to win the war that seems completely hopeless for humanity. And it's just like there aren't words. The animation is also they pulled out all these stops. The animation on the original No Game No Life was very good. The use of color, especially, very impressive. Um, Maybe a little bit over the top with the color. It's like a little bit too colorful, maybe. But anyway, the Zero I think is it's flawless, and the world is set up so well, especially at the beginning where people are just dying. They're dying left and right. Like it's like they took my advice. It's like they said, "Oh, you want some stakes? You want a more serious tone to the world? Here you go." So it's showing you the world of Discord before they started doing the games, because everybody was killing each other too much. I thought it was so well done. I was blown away by it. I remember seeing it in theaters back in the day, and I was pretty skeptical. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work, but hey, let's go see it." And I was blown away. It's just so good. The action is also just top notch. The fights are so well animated, so intense. There's none of this blobbery that you see in a lot of like the big, massive fighting animes, where people are like blowing lasers out of their faces at each other. It just all becomes blobs and you can't make out anything. This was not like that. Like the color was on point. When they did use 3D, it was so well done and it was just gorgeous. The characters had reasons to fight. Every single battle, you felt like you understood why one side was fighting the other and what they were fighting for, and the power leveling of the whole thing was so wonderful of just like feeling the weight of the attacks. Maybe it was also because I was in the theater, but I think I watched it at least once since. I really should watch it again though. It's so dang good. Um, it just, oh, you can't forget it. You just, oh, it just takes that heart of yours and it just wants to pull it out of your chest by that heartstring. It's so good, every bit of it. I can't talk enough about it. It's so funny how these two series are polar opposites, but they definitely are. Can we do one more? It's gonna be a bit of a longer video. I apologize, but we got 168 to get through, and we've gotten through six, so we might as well do another one, right? But go watch No Game No Life Zero, and if you must, which I would say you really don't have to watch the original series to appreciate this. It's like the characters are essentially the analogs of each other in each the prequel and the original series, but they don't. There's like a short bit at the end of the movie where it's like, oh hey, there's the original cast, but it's like the plot, the actual show of the movie, you can totally get without watching the original. So I would recommend skipping this, watching this. Then, after you watch that, if you must, go back, watch the original series, and prepare to be heavily disappointed. And if you're not disappointed, I don't think you are actively watching the shows that you are consuming. You are just a mindless consumer. Don't be a mindless consumer. All right, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to do right in the middle, but I can already see what's in the middle. I don't want to like ramble too long on this last one because if I actually pick one, but at the same time I should do one that I consciously pick each time, right? I don't know. I don't know how this goes. I've never did this before. Um, Screw it with ball. We're doing a big circle. We're doing big circle, big circle, big circle, big circle. Oh, okay. Ragnarok Online. Ragnarok Online is uh, maybe a bit more obscure to most people. I think that's probably our first C tier. Yeah. Ragnarok, it's based off of like an old MMORPG game. I think it's actually still in existence. I haven't played it, but the anime is pretty dang good. It's a JRPG kind of thing. Um, the fantasy world is, I guess you could call it like old school copy paste. This thing was done in the early 2000s, I believe, like very early 2000s. From what I do recall, the animation was really quite decent for the time. Like it was pretty good for an adventure, large world type thing. I think the biggest problem with it was the plot was like written by a not very imaginative author. And I guess for the time, like the whole world and fighting monsters, maybe they just thought it could carry it enough because there wasn't like a whole lot of shows, like a ton of shows like that back in the day. So they thought like, well, hey, this genre is like I don't know what they were thinking, man. It's been a long time since I saw it, but it's all speculation, really. Point being, I thought the writing was just pretty bland. It was like, oh, they're gonna do that now. Okay, I can see that. Oh, they're gonna do that now. Then the dialogue was a bit bland, and the introduction of the characters was a bit bland, and there was a couple unique like interactions and some interesting stuff, but it was all kind of meh. The thing that really did make it awesome is the interactions between some of the characters later on. Kind of a bit of a not a total slog in the beginning, don't get me wrong. It still kind of held your interest, but it wasn't something that was like engaging. I guess I'd say it wasn't crazy engaging. It wasn't background music type show, but it wasn't super engaging. I think it definitely had a better direction than Demon King Daimyo, and I think the animation for the time was probably better than Demon King Daimyo. Um, and the characters were equal, maybe a little bit better because it's hard. But it's kind of it has a few things in it that are very very not childish and naive. Like the writing, like the writing sometimes does go very dark very quickly, and it fleshes out the characters, each of their backstories really well in time. Like you have to give it some time. That's why it's kind of a little bit lower too. It's not like instant gratification. Okay, this was made before ADHD was a thing. You know. I like it, but it's kind of like very standard um, fantasy fare. Like if you just want a fantasy, if you're just like, hey, You know what I feel like? Fantasy. A fantasy I haven't seen before. There you go. There you go. We had a lot of fantasies this time around. But yeah, it's good. It's got some like nice Moe characters too. It's got some variety. Ragnarok Online. It's worth a shot. I would say some people regard it as like a kind of an important niche show back in the day. I don't know. Maybe not. Man, I just want to do another one. I just want to keep going. Let me do one more. Let me do one more that I pick. Okay. After much deliberation, I'm gonna pick, if I can find it again, Needless. 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 If you haven't heard of Needless, man, you're only a real one if you've heard of this show. I'll tell you why. I would say Needless is. Is it A or is it B? Man, that is a tough decision, actually. That is really tough. Needless is like so good. It's like, it's better than Campione, but am I being too polite to it? I don't think so. Like, it's really freaking good. Needless is really freaking good. Okay, it is not needless. However, so this will be the last one. We'll go out on this one. I picked it myself because it's not going to be too long of an explanation. It's pretty simple, actually. Needless, if you're familiar at all with anime, imagine the most anime that you could think of, that you could fathom. What would that look like? Well, I'll tell you what it would look like. It looked like Needless. Needless is the most anime that you could ever imagine. It has all the tropes. It has everything. It has a bit of parody. It has everything. It's got ecchi. It's got crazy fighting tropes. It's got like the fighting anime type, like Fists of the North Star paired with like JoJo, paired with like um, nice moe ecchi, paired with like more and more ecchi, and then comedy, and then the faces and the drawings and the tropes and the did I say tropes enough? It's so a wonderful, it's a perfect distillation of the art form. And that's why I think it goes in A. Because if somebody asked me, like, hey, what is anime? Can I be sure that I might like this thing, this genre? I would go, let's sit down, let's watch a few episodes of Needless. If you think there's aspects of Needless that you like, I can recommend you like a totally separate anime that's all about that. The fighting, the there's so much in freaking Needless. Like it's a rather long show. Like the world, the post-apocalyptic world, the mutants. I can give you so many like superhero mutant type, shows where people have powers they shouldn't, and the magical aspect of it here and there, and like the comedy. Oh, you like the comedy? You like the slapstick kind of thing that they have going on? Well, I can give you a show like it's a wonderful distillation, combination, wonderful amalgamation. How many more words can I use? But it's so fun. See what happens when I like pick a show that I don't know. I just feel like I'm doing better on this one, describing it. Maybe I'm not. Maybe you're still very confused, and that's fine because this is needless. Like you're gonna be confused. I'm still confused. That's part of anime is being confused all the time. Like what's going on? Why are people being drawn like this? Why? What is happening? And Needless is a little bit like that, but it's also quite coherent. Like it also still has a direction, and it's really cool to see people get closer to their ends that they desire, and like the plot progressing. As I see, I said that terribly. The plot just progressing. It's fun to see. Okay, it's fun to see, and all the characters again really awesome. Like all of them are really well done. There's actually a kind of a symbolism that pairs really interestingly with Christianity because you have Adam, you have Eve, you have a lot of cross imagery, a lot of the priest. It's kind of interesting that whole portion of it and dissecting the symbolic meaning of bits and pieces of the show. Um, but I don't like I'm not gonna spoil it for you. That dissection you can go get spoiled elsewhere on YouTube if you want, but um, it's there and it's fun to dissect it bit by bit, use your brain a bit um, on what they're talking about with that sort of imagery. But oh my gosh, like That she's so much fun. The jokes. I mean, I think I've seen a good amount of comedy anime, and I'm kind of hard to make laugh. Needless get got me several times. I was like, that is funny. I like had to pause it. I had to have a good laugh, and then I had to resume it because that there was a few times I was like, that is perfection. That is exactly what should have happened right then and there for peak comedy. Like total perfect timing. Ah, there's something for everyone in Needless, I think. If you're an anime fan. If you're not an anime fan, then you're probably going to be bewildered, but maybe you'll end up liking it in the end because I think it's a very likable, approachable story at the same time. Even though it's wacky, it's still very fun and engaging. And you want to engage with it. You're like, there's something special about this. This is what makes the art form itself unique. Is all these sorts of aspects, and it's all rolled into one package with Needless. I actually got into it. It doesn't matter when I got into it. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the shows. What am I doing? But I got into it a long time ago. Just say that. Just say that. Watch Needless. Needless is definitely an A tier. The more I talk about it, the more it's like an iconic show that just should get a lot more attention. I don't know why people don't talk about Needless, man. Needless. Needless. Next thing I want to talk about is Green Green. Just kidding. That'll happen next time. I can't even find it on here. But thank you for watching. I'm sorry that I've gone over. This is like at least 30 minutes long, but this is just the beginning. As you can see, this is exactly what happened last time. I'm being a little bit more concise, but not enough. So I will try to do better in the future. Until that time, take care, y'all. Thank you.